Hello, friends. Today's story is another book by Eric Carle. This is The Tiny Seed. The Tiny Seed. And if you remember from last week or so, we read The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. And you'll notice some of the same art techniques that he used in that book. He uses in all of his series where he paints tissue paper and then he cuts out pieces of that tissue paper to glue into a collage to create his pictures. And I had linked a video about his art technique in The Very Hungry Caterpillar. I'll try to link it again in this video so that you can check out more about this author illustrator Eric Carle, because he is very well loved and very well known for awesome children's books. And this book is well loved. Look at its corner. Its poor little corner has some wear and tear. I'm going to have to fix that. So while we're reading, I want y'all to think about the author's purpose of writing this story. Why did Eric Carle want to write a story for young children about a tiny seed? Okay, that's your task. Eric Carle's The Tiny Seed. It is autumn. And if you'll remember from when we studied season words, autumn is another word for fall. And I see those fall colors in the pictures. It says, it is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? So here is our tiny, tiny seed. And where are they all going? One of those seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up, up it goes. It flies too high and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. So not all seeds might make it to the ground to create new plants. Sometimes things happen in nature and they don't always make it. And that's okay, it's just part of life. So here's our tiny seed. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Poor little guy. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Finally, the wind stops and the seeds fall gently to the ground. There we go. Can y'all see? Sorry. It's hard to coordinate the book. They have fallen to the ground. Do you see the little tiny seed still? It says, a bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. Now it is another season, boys and girls. It's winter. Do you see the snow? Do you see the snow? Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Let me pull the page up for you. There they are, like they're going to fall asleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seeds lie very still, and the mouse does not see it. There's our tiny seed. He stayed so still that the mouse didn't see him. Okay, it's a new season. It's a season that we are seeing outside right now. It is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full that they start to burst open a little. Now they are not seeds anymore. They are plants. First, they send roots down into the earth. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up towards the sun and air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It is a big, fat weed. And it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from one of the small new plants. And that little plant dies. Now, we've talked in some of the other videos about how plants need space to grow. They need their own room. And this little guy didn't have that space. Look, it caught all the rain and all the sun, and this little guy could not grow properly. Now, here's our little tiny seed. Bless his heart, he's still not growing as fast as the other ones. It says the tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late, hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. Do we see all the things that a plant needs on this page? We see sunlight, we see rain, we see good healthy soil, we see space between the plants. This is a perfect page to talk all about what a plant needs. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun and springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along. Oh, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. Oh. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 new leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud, and now even a flower. But what is happening? First, there are footsteps. Then a shadow looms over them. Then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. What happened? I see a hand. That person, and I don't know who that person is, that person just picked that flower, which some of you have probably been doing with all the wildflowers around. Oh, it's a boy. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. How sweet is that? Oh, what a sweet, sweet child. It's a new season, boys and girls. It says it is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It's the last one, guys. It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. Now, could this really happen in real life? Maybe. Maybe not. Eric Carle is really funny with this last page. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. Abigail, come see this page. Come here. Mommy's filming. I want you to see this page. It's such a happy page. It says, all summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Now it is autumn again. Do you know what autumn means?
Fall.
Fall. Good. High five. Good job, Addie Bill.
And she's saying it became short.
That's right. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower, and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. What happened in the middle of that flower? The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower seed pod. Can you point to the seed pod for the kids? Good job. The seed pod opens. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. Look at the wind carrying those seeds. It's part of the plant life cycle, Addie. The end. So we just saw in this book the complete life cycle of what happens to seeds, especially this type of flower seeds, throughout the course of a year. We saw all of the seasons. We started in autumn, and then we went to autumn, we went to winter, spring, summer, and then we went right back into autumn. And we talked about what happened to this little seed or this plant in each of those seasons. We saw that the wind is one of the biggest carriers of seeds, but not all seeds make it, do they, boys and girls? Lots of great information. Yes, this is a make-believe fiction story that Eric Carle wrote, but we can get so much information from it. Lots of things happen to seeds in where they are not able to grow, but some seeds are able to grow. And when they grow, they go through a life cycle. They need certain things, and they begin to grow. Roots, it said roots down in the dirt, and then the sprout, and it talked about all the things that a plant needs in order to grow. And if a weed or another big plant is blocking it, it might suffer. And then we also see that this little guy, this little plant, throughout the whole story has been smaller than all of the others. He was a smaller seed than the others. He was a smaller plant than the others. Hey, Avery, come here, come. We're talking about the kind of the message of this story, and I wanted to get your perspective on this. It talks about how the seed or the plant is smaller than the others, but he goes on to grow into the tallest and the best. So what do you think the message Eric Carle is trying to get across to kids through writing this story for us?
That every day you keep on growing.
Every day we can keep on growing. Ooh, that's a good idea. What else? Maybe even though we're small, we can still grow up to do and be great things. Yeah. Can we make our own connections to how we feel about this? How we feel as little kids? Okay. So great ideas, Avery. Thank you. So I want you to talk to your families about how you feel about this story, how you think it connects to you as a person growing up and maybe feeling like the smallest sometimes, or maybe that others are growing faster than us, but even though we're little, we can go on to do and become great things. Eric Carle had a great message to this story. I think his purpose was to get some information to us about plants, but also to entertain us and send us a message. I'd love to know what you guys think, though, also. So send me a message. Whether through Dojo, email. Thank you so much for your pictures you've been sending me and the videos you've been sending me every day. That just brightens my day so much and helps me still feel so connected to you guys, even though we're far apart right now. So thank you so much.